Welcome to NocBro Nation.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
Today, guys, we are here to review issue 177 of The Walking Dead.
Yes, indeed, guys.
And part 3 of the New World Order.
Part 3. This one was really cool. I love the pacing of this. We got to see Old Man Rick for a couple panels, and then that was it.
I said in the New World Order kind of predictions overall that this would probably primarily be, an entire arc dedicated to the Commonwealth, and it is. Mm-hmm. But I also said we probably wouldn't see Rick, and we probably wouldn't see Negan, and we probably wouldn't see Alexandria or the Hilltop. I was completely wrong, because right away the first panel in the comic is old Rick boy.
That's right. I mean, I wish it could have been like maybe a better scene.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of nice to throw it in.
It was
to get
a pretty
back.
Cheesy scene.
It was. So, Rick is talking with a kid named Mikey.
Yep.
Who I believe his mom passed away.
Yeah.
Recently.
Yeah, and I can't remember if his mother passed away during the Whisper War when the Walkers invaded Alexandria.
I think so. Yeah, let us know if we got that correct or if we got that wrong. But they're just having a conversation. Mikey's kind of writing poems to help with his grieving.
Yep.
And Rick is listening to him, saying, you're doing a good job. I'm glad that, in a sense, you're kind of pulling through things. Making yourself better, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Mikey kind of goes on to tell him, look, this is very therapeutic. Mm-hmm. It's working for me. It might work for you in your feelings with Andrea.
Oh.
And immediately we kind of get a Rick says, I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah. Because Mikey even says, just write some stuff for yourself. Nobody has to read it. Yeah. Just do it for yourself.
Yeah.
I think it'd be good for Rick to do it, but
I think so. Yeah. I mean, poor Rick's still sleeping in dirt.
Sleeping in dirt. So this next part was
part was pretty sweet.
An eye exploder.
We cut to the Hilltop and we see a young fellow by the name of Eduardo, basically keeping an eye on things at the Hilltop gates. He's being relieved by another member of the guard. I'm just going to call him the guard. I don't, whatever.
Yeah.
And before he heads off, the other fellow says, "Hey, Eduardo, your spear is split. Let's go. Why don't you go into the shed and get a replacement part for it?"
Yeah, and so as he opens the door, it's Bow Chicka Bow Wow in there right now. And who's in there? Maggie and Dante.
Yep.
Finally, in a sense, we got
the kiss reveal in the whole Negan issue, but
she was playing hard to get for a while,
years, and look, for rightful reasons, right?
Yeah, rightful reasons. So I thought it was good to see, but her immediate reaction was freaking out.
Eduardo's immediate reaction was to look away and say, "I'm not seeing anything."
Like, I didn't see anything. Slam. So Maggie feels very embarrassed, not for Dante, but for herself. And even Dante says, "Are you embarrassed by me?" She's like, "No, it's just it's something that she doesn't want the others to see yet, because she feels like maybe not enough time has passed between her and Glenn."
Yeah.
So
and she says she's apologetic, and Dante's basically saying, "Look, you have nothing to be sorry for,
nothing to be ashamed of either."
Yeah.
But I think he understands that it's going to come at a slow pace with her, but it needs to happen. Time has gone by. We've gotten over it, but the others.
I have not.
You have not?
No.
Yeah. Maybe Rick might get upset.
So anyway, we cut to a couple of other new characters, and this was kind of confusing when you're reading the issue.
It was at
you're
first.
Like, who's this kid talking to Rick?
And when is this?
Yeah, and then you flip, and who's this kid having a picnic with? I thought it was going to be one of those scenes where walkers just annihilate these two random people.
So did I. And we do see a walker as they're kind of starting to get to the Bow Chicka Bow. We do see a walker coming closer and closer.
Bow Chicka Bow.
Actually, two walkers coming closer.
Basically, it's a young couple that are having a picnic, and enjoying themselves, kind of having a little makeout session, and up comes two walkers.
Yep, coming closer and closer, and then we get to see this gorgeous battle axe just rip right into the head of them. They get taken out.
Huge axe, too.
Huge axe. And so we get Mercer, who we heard about from last issue, and Mercer is with the Commonwealth. And this gentleman, Sebastian, the kid, he turns out to be the son of the governor.
Yep.
And Mercer is his personal bodyguard.
His personally appointed bodyguard. So immediately, obviously, the axe into the walker, the girl freaks out, and Sebastian's upset at Mercer for
blowing up the spot.
C blocking.
Yeah.
And, basically says, I told you to stay a distance. The girl freaks out because she's like, you've been having him watch us,
Right. And that's why she's upset. It's like he's watching us, and he's like, no, he was supposed to just watch over us from a distance. And he's just completely so mad at Mercer, and Mercer's just trying to say, I'm sorry, I'm just doing my job. But when yeah, go ahead.
One thing that Sebastian says towards the final page is, look, you couldn't even handle these couple of walkers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he calls them rotters.
Rotters.
Yeah.
The new term that we've heard now, rotters. Yeah. But I kind of like that one.
I do, yeah.
Because they are rotting, technically.
Anyway, so we get Mercer, who says, I'm sorry, sir. And we cut back to a panel of literally, it must be like 8 to 10 walkers behind the 2 that he had killed right before they got to the young couple, Sebastian and his girlfriend.
Yeah, kind of down a hill, so Sebastian couldn't see that.
So he literally extinguished several of them.
To save his life.
Badass.
So he can continue to hook up with his girl outside where they are. Because they're outside the walls of the Commonwealth. They're out somewhere. Yeah. So this next part, nice, lovely little reunion of Michonne and Elodie. Very touching.
Yeah, there wasn't touching. At first there wasn't too much dialogue. No. It was just them holding each other, crying.
Yep.
And then we get a little bit more information about her second daughter, Colette. Mm-hmm. Michonne asks Elodie, "Where's Colette? What happened to Colette?" And Elodie goes on to tell Michonne that she was with Colette, with their father in the beginning. And they ran into, after her father had passed, I believe.
Yeah, I think he passed. Yeah.
They ran into a bad group of people.
But they did help protect them. But they only helped protect them for favors. Yeah. And we don't know those favors, but you could probably imagine
2 girls.
What they would be. Colette refused to do that. And the price of her refusal was, I believe, they killed her.
Yeah. It's insinuated that they killed her due to her rejecting that agreement.
Elodie did not refuse, but she ended up actually killing them all. Yeah. And she told Michonne this, and Michonne thought at first that she was kind of being sad and regretting, that of course Colette dying, but Michonne was misunderstood of what Elodie was trying to tell her. She's like, "Look, I am. What's haunting me is that I killed them all." Yeah. And before that, Michonne does ask her, "How long have you been here?" And Elodie's like, I've been here for about 4 years.
Michonne's first question out the gate was, "Are these good people?" Mm-hmm. And Elodie kind of, not necessarily dodges that question, but is quick to dismiss it, saying basically, "Are you a good person? What is a good person?
Right? Is anybody good anymore? Yeah. Can she even ask Michonne, would you even consider yourself a good person?" Yeah. In this world, yes, you can have good morale. I mean, not good morale, but have a good sense of morality and kind of be humane, but you're going to have to do things to survive in this world. So are you really good, or are you just surviving?
In the end, Michonne says, look, we don't have to talk about this topic anymore. Yeah. You did what you had to do, and I completely understand that, because look, Michonne's had to do a lot of things that she herself didn't want to do in her time with Rick and the survivors.
Yeah. So they're just wanting to spend as much time together as they can, because as of right now, we don't know if Michonne is going to be allowed to stay there, or if she has to go, if she can bring Elodie with her, blah, blah, blah. But one thing I did like from this as well is that Michonne did say to Elodie, "I'm so sorry for not being there for you." Yeah. And Elodie, at some point in time, she did blame Michonne for it, because she says, "Look, Mom, I'm not mad about that anymore. Yeah. I'm not mad at you for that anymore." So I think that, yes, Elodie had some resentment, from what happened previously, but times have passed, and
I
it's
think
all
enough
good
time has passed, and with everything that's happened in this world up until this point, I think Elodie has just matured and realized that holding that in is just pointless.
Yeah, exactly.
So we do cut to the rest of the survivors: Eugene, Sadiq, Magna,
Eugene,
Takata,
Yomiko.
Wow.
I almost forgot that too. I was like,
Yumiko. Anyway, so we cut to them outside of the governor's room, I believe. And this, I kind of liked this because
I did too.
We get another example of the governor being a sympathetic, trusting, and just good person, because she's basically telling them that, look, she's talking with her daughter. Like, let's give them time. Yep. This is a very precious situation.
Beautiful reunion.
Yeah. And we need to respect that.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Sorry.
No, yeah.
And after that, then we're going to let you roam the Commonwealth.
She mentions after they're done, however long it takes, you can either decide to stay or you can leave.
Yeah.
So apparently their whole initiation has gone pretty well.
Yeah.
Because she's telling them, you can either stay or you can go. Doesn't matter, but we're cool.
Yeah. It's just another example of I think we're dealing with a good person here. Now,
seems like it.
That might change.
Might change now.
Yeah.
So her son bursts in complaining, hey, I told you Mercer is an issue, and he couldn't stay away, or he couldn't stay, where I told him to be, and all he had to do was deal with a couple walkers or rotters or whatever. But he was just kind of complaining that Mercer kind of blew up his spot, and he was kind of mad at his mom for somewhat taking Mercer's side, because she was like, well, I'm sure he didn't do that on purpose. He's like, I knew he would take his side, blah, blah, blah. And then Mercer comes in, and she actually reams him out.
Yeah,
and there's one big reason why.
He's standing there like a beaten dog, head down, cowering. Basically, he's apologizing to the governor.
He looks like Mr. T, by the way.
Yeah. He did say that he told Sebastian not to stray away too far, and that Sebastian would not listen. But the governor basically yells at him, basically says, you mean to tell me you did put him in a situation where he could have...
He was in danger.
In danger, yeah.
Right. And he's trying to explain, look, I mean, he couldn't get a lot of words out because, she was very upset, and she's also yelling at him in front of the others.
Yeah.
And so she finally ends the conversation saying, we'll get to it later. But, yeah, I mean, she's, he's doing his job. He was protecting him. He wanted to go outside the walls and have a little foo-la-la, but, I'm making up words. But, I mean, yes, he was in danger, but he's alive.
Yeah.
So, but whatever.
So we do cut to Mercer now packing up his equipment, and what appears to be another person from his infantry, someone under his command, kind of walks up to him, fellow armyman walks up to him, and basically saying, was it your day to babysit?
Yeah, how was your babysitting job today?
Yeah.
He's like, because I heard Sebastian bitching to his mom about what's going on, and this is where we get into the interesting part of this issue. So that gentleman says, the others were with you. If you just give the word, we'll do it. And what he's talking about is seems like they want to take over. But Mercer kind of says, we can just let them just kill themselves. Like, we'll just sit back and wait, in a sense. But
yeah, so just to echo what he said is, they're basically ready to make a move whenever Mercer says move. So that tells you that he has full command of the army and full trust of the army.
Yeah.
They're willing to do anything for him. And we talked about this before. It kind of feels like a gladiator type of situation where Marcus Aurelius, I think, was the gladiator's name. I'm probably getting that
wrong.
You
got it. Marcus Aurelius.
I think that was the king that died.
Oh, that was
yeah.
Yeah, Marcus Aurelius.
Anyway, Russell Crowe's character,
right?
Basically had the trust of the army, and they would fight for him. This is the same situation.
Yeah.
If he wants to take over, all Mercer has to do is tell his army, "Back me. Let's overthrow this thing. It's a coup."
Yeah, because he was like, we don't even have to get our hands dirty, really. And as they're having this conversation, they stop because as they turn, Sadiq is in that same locker room.
Yep, listening to every word they are saying.
Probably heard everything they said. So, is Mercer going to be the new villain? What are we going to find out in the rest of this arc as to why they want to take over? Are they completely fed up with how the governor is running things?
Or are they just
Sebastian's annoying the crap out of them? Or are they just ready to be like, I'm done?
Are they just power hungry? Is Mercer secretly power hungry? I mean,
Exactly.
here is a governor yelling at him.
And he does nothing.
And so
Puts his head down.
he obviously understands that this person has power, and is afraid of her at some point, but secretly is ready just to.
Plus, she did that in front of other people.
Yeah.
Imagine if she did that in front of his own men. That would. You never want to see like your commander being chewed out, by somebody else.
Something is gonna go bad. I have
happen.
a feeling something's gonna happen. So
Yeah.
it was guys. It was a very exciting issue.
I love this arc.
I had heard in the letter hacks. I didn't get a chance to read the letter hacks yet, but I heard in the letter hacks, Robert Kirkman actually gives an amount of people that are left in the apocalypse. Like puts a number to it.
Really?
1.6 million.
Man, that's not good.
I thought I had heard that, guys. If you know the answer to that, put that down in the comments if I'm correct.
Yeah, let us know.
I thought I read an article on that, but if that is the case, that would make an interesting video that we could possibly do in the future.
Definitely.
Who knows?
Definitely let us know, guys. But let us know your thoughts of issue 177. I actually love this arc. Hope you guys picked up the Governor issue as well that came out, the portrait issue that came out, because this was one that I think was our most favorite.
Yes, this was actually my favorite one.
Yeah,
so far.
we are excited to see the others that are coming out for the rest of the year, because he is doing these for the rest of the year. So Bills and Kiewitz, I know I'm mispronouncing his name, but yeah, let us know your thoughts. We can't wait for 178. It needs to come here now because we need to know.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're done.
Thumb up the video if you like it, guys. Follow us at NocBro Nation on Twitter. We're done here officially. Let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here. We're NocBro Nation.
We're out.